Hey folks, welcome to part 3 of this Luthier's Lair series detailing the modification of a stock gas-bass Falcon Series 2 bass guitar. The modification is a new neck with blue LEDs in it. So we've got up to the stage where we've machined out most of the parts and we're just doing some work on the fretboard now. We will get the fret marker, the inlay holes drilled out and recessed and ready for wiring in this part. So let's go and take a look and see how far we've got along with this. So here's our oak fingerboard all machined out. Now I'm going to be drilling the inlays manually, the inlay holes. What I've done so far is I've drilled pilot holes where the LEDs are going to go, and then what I did then was turn it over and I drilled recesses in here. You can see there, so the LEDs actually fit in the recess like so. Then the recess is drilled down to a depth where it's almost equal to the height of the LED. Then we just plop that in there very tight and push this down just now. This is a spare one, and check that it's absolutely level, and it is absolutely level with the fingerboard. So that's the correct depth all the way for that. The next thing to do is we'll just poke this out. Sorry about that. There we go. The next thing to do is route channels in the back of the fingerboard. We want a channel along here, joining these up, and a channel along here, joining these, and then we cross channel each to join up the two tracks that are on either side. They got all routed out with a 1/4 inch routing bit, and we will use the wires and place all the LEDs. So I drilled this first one out properly just to make sure that the LEDs actually fit, and they do. So I'm confident now that I can go ahead and drill all the rest of the holes out right now before I start doing the route. But first off, we're going to pencil in the actual line of the tracks like so. Go, and then this one too, lining up the centres of each hole, and that's about right there, that's about right there, just a little bit more, that's it. And then we can extend this line all the way down to the 3rd fret where the first marker goes, and just extend that all the way down like so, and this one too, all the way down about there. Okay, so we're good to go now. That's all marked up, ready to go, and that just gets manually done across there. So we're ready to drill out these now. Awesome, let's go do that. Oops, nearly. So, time to install the LEDs. Yes. And I have one placed in already. As you can see, it's all bent into shape. There you go. And on that side, sort of still unfinished. That'll get sanded down and polished. A nice dark stain on the oak and the grain showing through. It's going to look spectacular with LEDs in there. So yeah, that's what we have there, pushed in. So how do I do that? Well, it's pretty easy. I have a nice little diagram I just drew up, and it's not like a circuit diagram, it's more pictorial on how things work. It's right there. So I leave that there, and I know that the anode goes to this side for the first 3 LEDs. Anode on that side, and the cathode on this side. The positive lead will come out there because I'm going to do a series parallel circuit, so the power distribution between the LEDs are correct. And of course a resistance at the end to protect. There's a 9-volt battery going in, not a 3-volt, and it has to supply enough current. So we've taken an LED here. The long leg is the anode. Okay, so go down here, we sort of plop it in, sort of. It's very tight fit, very tight, in fact extremely tight, this one. And we take a little, like a cocktail stick there, and we'll push that down like so. Oh, that popped out. See, the holes have to be very tight, so I'm going to back that off a little bit and just screw it in. Actually, this one is not good. Let me see what's going on here. Let me see. Ah, there's a bar. Now sometimes with oak especially you'll get a bar. So what do you do with that? I'll show you. You just take a countersink bit, just what I was going to show you, and gently do that to get rid of excess bar there. I like to keep most of the wood there so I can work with it. And we'll just plop that in there. It should go in now. There you go. There it goes. Then we take the broken cocktail stick part and push it all the way down. There you go. You should feel a click when it happens. With these flat-headed LEDs, it's very easy. And then we just ease it back out with the thumb, go by feel here, and it's level. Then what we do is we put a finger in there, take the cocktail stick and bend that right the way down. And that, right the way down. Okay. There you go. It goes into the track where the wires are going to run to connect everything up. So that's basically it, really. Again, I'll debar this. Again, for this one, anode goes down here, so in it goes. Push it down. There you go. Spread it out like so. Take your cocktail stick and make it lie in the bed of the track that you cut with the router. This one's still sitting a little high, that's okay. And there you go, that's it. Now coming up to this one, we switch, the anode goes to the top. Remember, it's a series parallel combination. So, we do that. Debar slightly. Somebody likes me. Push that in. Push it in again. Check that it's level. It is level. Actually a little bit more. And flatten the wires out slightly. Use the stick for the rest. There you go. All this gets trimmed, by the way, after it's soldered or soldered, as we will say here. Sod. To me that's grass. Anyway, so yeah, we just go along, we position all the way that we think. I always leave the double ones to the end because they will require switch soldering, switch connections. So I'll go into this next one. As I can see here, it's still plus minus plus minus plus. So the anode, oh, drop that one, take another one, and for this one here, it's still the anode up to the up position here. So we stick that in, go, push it down with the stick, check for levelness, it needs to go down a bit more. There's the click, and we're good. Okay, so that's what you do. That's all that is required for this. And then the soldering is very important, of course. And we'll just push that down into place. There. Cocktail stick. So it's not a specialist tool when you're doing it by hand. It's just a bit of care and attention. And then again, a little bit more so that I know it's in place. And that's perfectly level. Yeah. Okay, and that's it. Keep going, then we're done. Awesome. Okay folks, we have the LEDs installed in the fingerboard here, which will become a fretboard once I put the frets in and attach it to the neck. So let's just check that they work. Connect it up to a battery, and there we go. Hip hip hooray. I must say the blue does look good on this oak fingerboard, looks really good. So there you have it, we are almost ready to get this neck assembled now. But just before we do, I'm going to make 2 notches in here for the leads to run down and through into the body. Once I get the fretboard attached to the neck and set aside to dry, I will begin work on the body of the base to enlarge the battery compartment and drill holes through the heel of the neck pocket to route the cables through to the batteries, and we'll go from there. All good. Cool. Well, the fingerboard slash fretboard is now clamped onto the neck, so we're good to go there. When this is all dry and stuff, the edges of the heel will be rounded off to conform to the fingerboard itself, and then that should fit in the heel slot in the base, no problems. That's going to take a day or so to dry up. The clamps can probably come off tonight, but I'll just leave them on overnight, it won't do any harm, and we'll go from there. So the next thing that we want to do now is to have a look at the body, drill holes in the heel of the neck pocket to route the cables through, and we're going to enlarge the battery compartment to be able to fit 2 batteries in it, one for the LEDs, one for the electron. Yeah, so we're at the stage now where the neck has been sort of completed. All the LEDs are in, it's been sitting for about a week to let the fingerboard bond and everything. Now we're going to put the headstock in. I just got to sand off the tabs from the CNC machine, and then we'll fit that like a sleeve onto the top of the neck. We should be good to go. So I'm going to sand all this down, get it into shape, glue it, then we'll put the veneer on it afterwards. Then we'll recut the holes here through the veneer so that the tuning heads can fit. Of course, there's an example of a tuning head here, and it just goes through like that, fits in real nice. Pretty straightforward fit. Looks nice. Yes, indeed. So, oh, it's tight, which is good. We'll go ahead and sand this now, right? Let's go. Quick operation, it's done, and I'll just I'll get this sander away and I'll show you how it fits, shall we? Yes, indeed. Sorry, I've had the flu, and a weird flu actually. Temperature got up to 102 Fahrenheit, and then all my lips cracked up to bits, and so I've still got like remnants of crap on my lips. It was awful. In bed for a week. Totally sucked. But there you go. Life actually happens. You have to get on with it. So, alright, let's go and show you how this fits. Let's go. So here we are, here's the neck, and here's the almost the finished colour of the fingerboard. That's really nice and mottled and okay and stuff like that. I've sanded down to 400 on the fingerboard. I might go over it a bit more once the stain's dried in, and then restain it just after finishing it up there. But it looks really good now. Next thing to do is to size up the headstock here, which is a nice system I've got going, which allows me to design any sort of headstock I like, and that just slides in like that. Go, it's done. It's pretty flat. And then what we do is, excuse me, remnants of fluid. That gets glued on here, and then we'll wait overnight with that. And we'll clamp it at the sides quite lightly, here, about here and here, way down here a bit. And then that all blends in, that'll get sanded and blended in down here. And we'll be good to go, and then we'll put a laminate on it. So it's a little bit of a lengthy process, but it should be fine. Hopefully I'll have this ready for the customer who's going to be playing some gigs at the end of June, and I would like him to have his modified Falcon Series 2 for his gigs. I would like to see that. Just wipe this down a little bit. Yep, everything's nice. I've frosted the LEDs slightly so that they're not so piercing. These are nice and frosted. Frosted means just abrading the lens on top of the LED. Don't go too far down though, so that you get a nice frosted effect and it's not so glary. You know. So let's go ahead and get this glued, set that aside, then we're going to wait a day, then we'll get back to it, and we will laminate the headstock. Cool. Well, that's it for this episode. All we have time for. Yes, indeed. Next episode, we will be putting the laminate on the headstock. I'm trying to get this neck finished. We'll install the frets and get it sized up inside the body. Then we'll cut a nice dual battery cavity in the body. Once again, sorry for all the chapped lips and the dry skin. It's part and parcel of being ill. So, until next time, the usual, stay safe, be good, and take care. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers, folks. Bye-bye.